Hi everyone,
Hi.
we are back and welcome to the fourth and final episode of our P&O Arvia Let's Talk Ship series. So in today's episode we're going to be discussing Arvia's fitness and wellbeing facilities, her pools and open deck areas, and we're going to give you our final thoughts. But before we get into this video, we're just going to kindly ask you to please consider subscribing to our channel because that will be awesome. And if you like the video, which we hope you will, please give it a little thumbs up too. So let's begin, shall we?
Let's go.
So now we're going to tell you all about Arvia's fitness and wellbeing facilities, aren't we, Gav?
Oh yes.
So where are we going to begin?
We're going to start down on deck 5 at the Oasis Gym.
The gym.
The gym. This is one place we always go to when we first board to get all the photos.
Yeah.
And sometimes we end up going back there, but more often than not we don't.
We used to do it quite often, but last couple of cruises we've done, we haven't really had enough time.
But down there you will find loads of techno gym cardio equipment. You've got weights down there as well.
Loads of equipment down there.
There's fitness classes taking place. So if you want to stay fit and healthy, is probably the place to go.
Yeah, being off all that food and but it's lovely. There's like nice windows down the side of it as well, so lets in all a nice light and it's nice and airy. It's a nice, decent sized gym as well. There's plenty, like I said, there's plenty of equipment there.
So we're going to head off next.
So now we're going to head to the Oasis Spa. So you actually enter the spa area on deck 6. You go in, reception is right in front of you, and then to your left you will find the salon and like your nail bar, and they'll do like all those sort of things like your pedicures, your manicures, your hair. There is a barber there as well, isn't there? So that's there. We didn't actually use those facilities, but they're there, and we had a little look around when we boarded the ship just to show you what it's all like.
Perfect for glamming up on celebration night or something, isn't it?
And then to go to the actual thermal area, which we did also, we booked a pass, which was about £39.
£39, I think that was.
So that gives you 2 hours in the thermal area. So the thermal area is down on deck 5. You sort of go down this like spiral sort of stairs. You go in, and it's great. There's plenty of facilities down there. Basically, you've got like these mood showers. They play all like these funny noises, like birds singing.
Some of them are quite cold.
Yeah. So one of them, there's speaking of cold, there's a cold room which is really, really cold. Then you've got like your usual steam rooms and your saunas. They're there. And then the best bit is an almost hydrotherapy pool in the middle, which is really, really cool. We really like that. It's got like these jets that squirt water into it. It's all bubbly and nice. And then there's like these nice, really cool like chairs, like seats sort of things on either side of the steps, which is really, really good. So we did enjoy that.
Yeah, and you can also relax, there's like a seating area and there's some warm beds as well.
Yeah, they're all around there. And for £39, we thought it was really, really good value. So yes, that's down on deck 5. And this cruise, we did actually have a massage.
Yes.
We went for a couples massage. It cost us about £130 each for a 75-minute. Was it a deep tissue massage? I think
it was. I think yes.
And we did actually pay a little bit more. They did like this facial one as well for an extra like 20 quid. I was supposed to remove the bags from under your eyes.
So we really treated ourselves.
We did spoil ourselves on this one, and it was really, really enjoyable. We had a good time.
If you fancy booking one of those, we do advise you go there early because these things do book up pretty quick sometimes.
Yeah, we always, as soon as we board a ship, the first place we go to is the spa because it books up super fast.
And talking of booking up, one of the places which was fully booked for our cruise, which is kind of like the spa stuff, is the retreat. Yeah,
it's sold at the retreat. So, as I said, on deck 6, you go in, your reception's there. That's where you'll make your inquiries to book the retreat. Now, the retreat is an exclusive area up on the front of the ship, on the top deck. Here you'll find hot tubs, plenty of lounges, and they're better than the ordinary lounges. They've got like nice cushions and all on them. It's a nice, quiet area, adult only. They do serve sandwiches and things that they like a little afternoon tea.
And we believe
had before on Britannia, and now they've got. Do you say the drinks?
Yeah, we believe there's drinks up there now included as well.
Which cool.
I think the price has increased quite a bit since we were on board. Though I think it's now around £200.
It's about £200 a week, but we're not entirely sure because we couldn't book it ourselves. If you have actually been to the retreat and you've been on Arvia recently, if you can let us know in the comments below, and then if somebody else is looking and wondering about the retreat, they can look in the comments and the price will be there, and obviously it'll stay up to date if people just keep letting us know. So keep your eyes peeled on the comment section, and if you can you contribute to it, that'll be great. So yes, that's the retreat. It's really, really great. I mean, we've done it on Britannia in the past, and it was great because we were at the fjords.
Yeah.
And you had amazing views down, because you're right at the front of the ship. They got like glass screens all the way around, nice windows, and you can just see straight out the scenery.
They do sometimes sell it as a day pass or as a week or a cruise pass, I should say. But when we went down, they just said, no, sorry, it's fully booked.
So that's a bit of a bummer. But, we'll have to give it a go. I want to try it. So we'll try it hopefully next time. Maybe.
Next time?
Yes.
So where are we going to head now?
So now we are going to go to the pools and the open deck spaces. So now we're going to tell you all about Arvia's pools and open deck areas. There's loads of open space on Arvia. There's loads of little nooks. It's great.
You'll find loads of hot tubs on the open decks.
They've actually added a few more of these infinity plunge pools in now.
Yeah.
So I have my model, people. So yes, as we've just discussed, this is where the retreat area is at the front here. What we're going to do now is we're just going to work our way across the top deck of the ship and just explain it all to you. So next up we have the Beachcomber pool. We have touched on this before because we were explaining to you that there was a bar there, so that's great. There's a pool. It's about 1.3 meters deep. The temperature of it was temperate. It was okay. We enjoyed it. It's got a nice seating all around it. It's nice little sun trap, to be honest. Yeah, it's sheltered. It's lovely. We enjoyed it.
And you can sit on the edge and just dip your feet in and stuff. It's nice.
Yeah, it's great. So then next, we're going to head over to the Sky Dome pool, which is one of our favourite places on the ship. And as we've said, on Arvia, there's a retractable roof now, so that it opens, lets in all the fresh air and the natural sunlight. So it's not as stuffy, which is great. Again, this pool is about 1.3 metres deep. They're all the same depth, really. But I will say this, the Sky Dome pool is the coldest pool. I did actually do a temperature test on all the pools, and the Sky Dome pool is the coldest. Then I would say you've got like your Beachcomber pool, the one at the front, and the Infinity pool. And the warmest one was the Panorama pool. It was lovely and warm, just so you know. So yes, so that's the Sky Dome pool. That's great. And you know, there's 3 bars there. You've got one on the top, 2 at the bottom. You've got your burgers. You've got the Taste 360s there. You've got your scoops where you can get your ice cream if you wish.
It was quite a busy area, wasn't it?
It's very popular, and there's screens in there. They do entertainment by day as well. There's bands will play there. So it's a really great space. It's really nice. It's lovely and eerie and nice. So moving on, we're going to work our way across the ship now. So after the Sky Dome pool, we've got a bit of deck area now before we get to the funnel. And here you will find the giant chess. Yes, so that's in the middle. And then you will find the jogging track, which goes just not all around the whole top deck of the ship, just sort of this area, isn't it? It's there for you to walk or jog. Yep. There are little arrows on it, so you go in the same direction, so you know which way you're not going to crash into somebody. 7 laps equates to about 1 mile, so just handy bit of info there for you. Yeah, it's great. I did a few strolls around. And it's nice, you know, when you're taking in the scenery. You can see all the sea and everything, and when the sun and all is setting, it's lovely, and you get some nice views from up there. It's great. So yes, so we've been to the retreat, we've been to the Beachcomber pool, we've been to the Sky Dome pool, we've seen the chess, we've gone around the jogging track. Now you find we've got the funnel. That's really cool, quite impressive when you stood on the deck, because it is huge. Moving afterwards, we then have the kids have like a splash play area.
It's just splash
which is just for little kiddies. It's great. It's got like loads of like water jets and stuff. It's sort of all closed in. I mean, it's got screens all around it, so I mean they're probably sheltered from the wind as well, so it'd be nice for them. They won't get all cold. I think you've got things like shuffleboard and deck quoits, and you know they're still here. The staple games are still there.
Normal deck games.
And then moving afterwards, then behind the funnel up here we have the new altitude ropes course, and which I can't really tell you much about, but Gavin can, because he actually did this, didn't you, Gav?
You were doing Wimpy on it, weren't you?
I don't really do heights, I've got to be honest. It just doesn't appeal to me. I'll do the pools, you do the ropes. Yes.
But the Altitude's Skywalk, as they call it, is bookable, so you need to book it on the app.
Yeah.
They do it, I think, every hour. You go up there, and what they'll firstly show you is how to get around it, but on deck. So you have a little practice run first.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I was watching him do it, and they were very, very good. They were explaining everything. They were going through everything with you. You put on your harnesses and all, don't you? They show you how to do all that, and then they explain to you about the clips and how you put one on and this, that, and the other, and how it clips on. They were explaining all that to you, which was good. But how did you find it up there?
It was quite a challenge. So I've done it before on MSC Bliss and Virtuoso, and I found they were quite easy, especially the mechanism they had where you just kind of walk around.
See, theirs is like a metal frame, isn't it? Yeah. It's quite solid, whereas this is actually a rope.
This one you had 2 clips. You clip one on, and then you'd lock it, and then clip the other one on, and that's how you walk. It was a bit more of a challenge. I don't think younger kids would find it as easy. I did struggle myself.
Yeah. I was listening to the guy talk about it. I was like, oh my God, this sounds really complicated. So I was like, I'm glad I'm not doing this.
There is one cool bit though I like, and it's the kind of where you walk out, you've got to ring the bell.
Yeah, is that towards the end? Is it? It's the course. It goes round that way.
Yeah, you can go around
and there was the bit I did like, which you went through, was the spider's web one.
That was really difficult. That one. I was hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was nice to just watch. Like watching you do it. It was interesting to see. Like, I mean, it did look quite challenging. I will give you that. And it was quite breezy as well when you did it.
It was,
because the guy lost his hat, didn't he? the instructor, he went to throw it to his friend and it just blew away.
But you could have done the mini golf instead.
Right underneath the altitude ropes course, you have the golf. There's like a new mini golf thing now. It looks really funky. They've got like loads of, there's like monkeys there. I think we saw it, was it a hippo or something? There's like jungly sort of animals there. It's a bit like a crazy golf kind of thing. I didn't actually have a go. I could have when I was waiting for him, but I was, again, just watching everybody else and listening to him. We were chatting to people while I was stood there waiting for him to go around. And it was a really nice day. It was nice and sunny, and it was great. It looked loads and loads of fun. Had we been on the ship for longer, we probably would have given it a go. But we only had like the 2 sea days, didn't we? And we were busy doing loads of other things.
So the days we were there, it was quite busy. There was quite a few people up there.
Quite a few people,
families playing.
There were quite a few people up there, but I wouldn't say it was crowded to the point where people couldn't do it. If somebody wanted to say, just turn up and say, I'm going to have a go, I would have said there was still, because like people obviously move around it, don't they? And there seemed to be plenty of the golf clubs and stuff available. So I'm assuming there was a lot more opportunity for people to do it if they wanted to. So yeah, that was really good. So now after the altitude golf, we're going to head on down to our next pool at the back here, which is the Panorama pool. So this is the one at the top. It's an infinity pool, again 1.3 meters deep, the warmest pool, as I said earlier. The warmest pool is great because you've got all those nice aft views. If you swim up to the actual infinity part and put your arms in and look over, you can see everything. Is great. And it also gives you like aerial views then of the infinity pool at the very back, so you can overlook that. It's a nice area. It's got a bar there. The Panorama bar is there. It's a great
loads of sunbeds around it.
Plenty of sunbeds around it. I mean, it does get busy on sea days and in the sun, obviously, as you imagine. It does get very popular.
Yeah, they're early from the sunbed.
Yes, but that's the Panorama pool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head on down. We're going to go down the steps and we're going to go to the infinity pool. Now this has to be my favourite area on the ship, I'm going to say. Absolutely loved the new swim up bar at the infinity pool. That is just awesome. That was a really nice touch. It's one of my favourite things. I know I've raved on about it loads and you've seen loads of footage, but I'll just give you a bit more. So yes, this is nice. It's just a great place to chill out. You can chat to people. It's the water itself isn't freezing. It's quite tolerable, isn't it?
Yeah, well I went in it.
He went in it.
I don't do pools normally.
If the ship gets a bit of motion, it does get rough, as we've said before, but it's fun. And it's great because you're at the bar and you can talk to the barman, you can talk to other guests. So the swim up bar actually overlooks the pool, and if you walk to the end of it, you can see the infinity pool. And again, this is an infinity pool. Again, it does have the glass infinity edge. Now from there, when you swim up to the back of that one, you do see down the back of the ship and you get a good aerial view of the sunset bar at the back, the bottom, and you can see the hot tubs down there and lovely, impressive wake views. It really is awesome. I really, really did like that. Again, 1.3 meters deep. This one was sort of the same temperature as the Beachcomber pool, so that was good. Yeah, and that
all the pools on Arvia require you to go in via a ladder. None of them are walk-in pools. But if you do struggle, they've all got hoist attachments as well. So if you ask the pool attendants,
they will help you. Yes, so don't worry about that. One of the other things I really liked about the infinity pool area as well is that they do the silent disco. They've been in the Caribbean, obviously it's nice and warm. If it was in a colder climate, I think they do it in the atrium then, don't they? But on our cruise, they do the silent disco. And I should have really mentioned this with the entertainment, but it slipped my mind. I don't know how, because it was just awesome. And you can also do this new 360 camera thing, which they're offering. It costs about 20 quid, bit expensive, but I say it's expensive. It's no more expensive than a photo. They're usually about that price, aren't they?
They used to charge about that much.
And you basically stand on this platform thing, you have your little disco dance, and then this camera spins around you. So we had that. We thought it was new. Let's give it a go. We had to do it to show you what it's like, and then you can go, "Oh God, that's a rip-off. I'm not doing that." Or you can say, "Oh no, that looks quite cool. I want to do that." And if you've had a few and you're there dance at the disco, it's novel, isn't it? You just try it. But yes, the silent disco is awesome. I really enjoyed it, and it's again perfect, fresh air out there. It's great. So we've covered the top, and it's worth noting, as we said before, new to Arvia, or an improved over Iona, is they do now have more of these infinity plunge pools on the top deck. I'm sure they didn't have that on Iona. I'm sure they didn't. So they've not only got them on the Promenade deck, which we'll talk about now, they have them on the top. It's great. It gives more availability for people. It is perfect. So as we've said, now we're going to go down to the Promenade deck. So yes, on Arvia and Iona, they have a full wraparound Promenade deck. It goes around the whole ship. It's perfect. It's all on one level. No steps going up and down. It does sort of slope up towards the bow a little bit. Nothing too challenging. I think even if you had mobility problems, you'd still get around it quite nice, quite easy.
It's quite a track to get right around it, though, isn't it?
It's surprising. I think when I did video it, I think it took me about a good 10 minutes just to get around the whole ship. It's so big. As we've said, there are infinity plunge pools down here towards the front. You've got this really impressive, I would say like an infinity bridge on either side, just outside Grand Atrium. So that's your glass windows there. Yeah. It doesn't have a glass bottom, but it's still quite impressive to walk on. And it gives you some really quirky photos. If you stand at the end where it sort of goes out, you can see the water and all of the sea will reflect off the windows and all. It's quite cool. If you're into your photography, you'll like that. So just then heading afterwards, then you go all the way along here. There's more sunbeds and things there. As we said before, it is popular. It does get busy on sea days especially. And then all the way aft, you have the sunset bar and you have the hot tubs. There are hot tubs there. They're the biggest hot tubs I think I've ever seen. I've never seen a hot tub obviously I've seen it on Iona, but I've never seen hot tubs so big. They're like hot tub pools. They're enormous. So yes, I think that pretty much covers it. So now we are going to give you our final thoughts on P&O Arvia and our cruise.
So what did you think of Arvia?
Absolutely loved it. Honestly, it was amazing. We had so much fun. It was really, really good. I liked Iona, but Arvia is better than Iona in my opinion. Obviously she's newer and they've learned from things with Iona, so they've improved it. It has a much better atrium. I love the sky, the lights on the ceiling, the features so much better than the glowing blob which you have in Iona. It's a warmer feel. Really love the atrium. It's just lovely. We were really impressed with the 6th Street Diner. That's a whole new concept. Really enjoyed that. Wish we had have tried a proper dinner there. We did have our brunchy breakfast there. That was great, but we would have liked to have tried. But yes, we really enjoyed it in general. All the new things are great and nice. I mean, I didn't use the altitude thing, but I still thought it was fun to watch. I love that smoke bar. Absolutely love it. That's a huge improvement. It's just great.
You can see with the whole altitude thing and the mini golf, they're really trying to start appealing more to families. They are. And it's great. It's a great family ship. I think
the entertainment was another thing. We found that to be fantastic.
That was non-stop,
really. And there's, like we said before, there's always something going on.
Everywhere we went, the staff were friendly. They were smiling. Some of them really could.
They really shone.
Yeah, they were going out of their way to keep you happy.
They were brilliant. What did we think of the whole embarkation process? Absolutely fantastic, wasn't it?
Yes, I think if we go back to the Caribbean, it'll probably be with a P&O because it was just so seamless.
It was effortless. It was just so straightforward. Honestly, can't fault it at all. It was perfect. After going through Miami and having that, we've had it twice now. We've had a 3-hour queue just to get through border control. And after a 9-10 hour flight, you don't want that.
Yeah, I've been trying to think, is there anything I really didn't like or something that put me off going back on it?
The Olive Grove was a bit of a disappointment food-wise.
Nothing's really standing out as...
One thing I will say was a disappointment was that about 3 days into our cruise, we did have the letter saying, it's almost time to say goodbye or whatever it says with our disembarkation arrangements on it, which was like, oh my God, we're only 3 days in. We're only just starting to get into the atmosphere, the mood, and we're on the ship and we're finding our feet and we're just settling in and boom, you're telling us we're getting off. And then to really rub salt in the wounds, because the way this cruise worked, we were, as we said before, we were on it for a week, other people were on it for 2 weeks. Now the people that were on it for the 2-week cruise that sort of came in, we joined them halfway through their cruise. They got off on the Friday. And from that point on, it did kind of feel like the ship was shut, like the whole experience was finishing. It felt like it felt like you should be getting off. It was a strange feeling, and the entertainment and all, it seemed to be quieter that evening. It didn't seem quite as it was. which it just gives you a pending doom, this horrible feeling.
Well, that's probably because it's such a big ship. They have to kind of they do it over 2 days, and they take Friday and Saturday.
About 5,000-6,000 passengers on that ship, and if they've got to fly them all out, and they've got people flying in, and it's crazy. It would be logistical nightmare. So I can understand why they do it, but it does just make you feel like your holiday has ended prematurely.
The other thing with how they were doing that as well is what we found is when we got on board, because we were the second week to some cruises, they'd already pre-booked all the venues that we wanted.
Like the retreat.
So the retreat was one, the 710 Club was another one.
710 Club we never got in there.
The Altitude Skywalk, I managed to get that on the last sea day. But I booked it as soon as I got on board, and that was the only space available. So it did impact it a bit there. But if you were doing the 14 nights from Southampton round trips, you're not going to have any of that.
Which is what we were just going to say next. What do we regret? Regret not being on the ship for 14 nights. Yes. 7 nights was not enough. Don't get me wrong, you'll have a good time on the ship. But, and if you do a 7-night cruise as we've done, it gives you an excuse to go back, right? So that's not a bad thing.
7 nights is better than no nights.
But we've been talking to other friends of ours, and they've said 14 nights wasn't quite enough for them. We spoke to a few people, and they were even staying on even longer. So, it is what you make of it. So that's going to conclude our Let's Talk Ship. We really hope you've enjoyed the series and found it useful. That's what we're trying to do, is just make it as useful and informative as possible. Our usual fun vlogs will be coming out soon, so they're on their way.
If you've got any questions, if you've missed anything, or you want more information on something, pop it in the comments below, and we'll make sure we get back to you. Or you can come over and join us on the Facebook group or something like that.
Facebook group, you have to come to, if you haven't already, come to our Facebook group, because sometimes when we're making these videos, we can't always answer the comments as fast as we might like. If you're on our Facebook group and you ask a question, if we can't get to it, other people will, and they'll all help you out. It's nice to have that little community. We do love it. So that is going to conclude this series of Let's Talk Ship on P&O Arvia. We had a fantastic time. We hope you've enjoyed these videos, and we hope you subscribe, because that will really help us out as well. That'd be awesome.
Make sure you hit the like button.
Ding ding on the bell, the notification. You get notifications of our new videos. Yes. So bye people. Bye.